shit.
Are you serious about actually like wanting to camp?
Oh yeah, totally. Like I'm not doing it this time around.
I wouldn't suggest you do it because it sounds like the rainy season's gonna last into next week.
I like how that sign just says Tokyo 2020, like it means anything anymore.
Oh, you know, actually, around the Shuto Expressway, there are signs everywhere that just say Tokyo 2020, and they've got a picture of a bus on it.
Why?
I think they're supposed to be marking the bus routes, but I felt like it was really, when I saw them for the first time, I'm like, what are these for? I guess it's like supposed to remind people. See, there's one right there. It's a pink sign with a bus on it. It says Tokyo 2020. These are all over the Shuto Expressway. I mean, there must be hundreds of them. And I guess that's supposed to remind people that, you know, ooh, Tokyo 2020, but it's like...
you'd think at least you'd get like a graphic designer to make it exciting. And not just
well,
like,
pink.
It's a stop sign.
It's pink.
Yeah. It's a pink stop sign looking motherfucker. That just tells you, oh, here's a concept, Tokyo 2020.
Yes, Tokyo 2020, we love buses.
It's a thing.
Yes. Well, you know, it's the sad thing about those older Japanese houses is that, you know, they're really well built on one side, but the problem is that you obviously, you have to do a lot of deconstruction to figure out how good the frame is, right? And so, obviously, there's a lot you can do to renovate, but you actually have to spend a lot of money to find out how much you need to renovate. So I think a lot of people, they'll just do the cosmetic stuff, and they won't look to find the things that need to be fixed. Like, for instance, if you've got walls and there's drywall on it that's got like black mold, you need to replace all of that. I mean, it could kill you.
Right, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the time the owners themselves aren't even aware.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because, I mean, especially if it's a house that you've been with for a long time, like, you're like, oh, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's not black mold, it's dark brown mold.
Yeah, come on.
Didn't kill me.
Well, that's actually something we were just talking about, too. My meeting just prior to this, about having, like, arbitrage and basically not just providing the information, but getting info like that, and being able to kind of rep the property in a manner that real estate agents don't kind of normally do, maybe?
Well, I mean, even Japanese real estate agents, it's almost like, I feel like recently, it's almost like the silent treatment. It's like, please go ahead, look, go crazy.
No, that's Peter's. He's like, they just basically just let it sit there for a few years, and then the property value drops.
Well, and so that's the thing, though, is that the agent would have to be actually educated on the property in order to explain it, but at the same time, the more detail they go into, the riskier it is for them, because, I mean, a lot of these real estate agents don't really know that much about buildings. I mean, obviously, they know about real estate transactions, but, I mean, unless they're like a licensed, you know, surveyor, they might not know that much about building materials or structural soundness or, I mean, you know, anything that's pertinent to buying a used property. Because in Japan, I mean, you know, if you're buying a property that's over like, you know, 15 or 20 years old, it's basically, it's sold to you as a teardown.
Right.
So it's like, why are you looking at the structure? You're going to tear it down, right? I remember there was a blog I read like 10 or 15 years ago about this foreigner who bought a house in rural Japan, and they bought the house, and they're like, oh, we're going to move into this nice old house. It's going to be beautiful. And then they went to it on closing day, and the house was gone. They demolished it. It was like,
so they just assumed
we did it for you for free. Because, I mean, it cost money to demolish a house, so they're like, why are you not happy? Like, you demolished our house!
Why would you do that? God damn it.
Yeah. It's like, what are you going to do now? No. Now you got to build a house. And building a house in Japan is pretty damn expensive. I mean...
Well, and I mean, that's the thing, too. I get sort of the historical precedent for the whole, like, every 20 years or whatever, and having things be easily destructible and stuff. But at the same time, right, like, in the sort of market economy that we have, that just seems to me to be very near extortion, right? Of like, oh no, you need, for no reason, like you could build a sound property and just, you know, care to it, but we're not going to let you, or maybe not let you do it, but that's kind of not what the zeitgeist says to do.
Well,
so you're just always
it's kind of
shit.
messed up too, because obviously you've got different tiers of builders and different building technologies, and I mean, obviously some buildings are built to a very high standard and other buildings aren't.
Right.
And it all depends on what sort of budget and what sort of instructions were given to the builder at the time the building was built.
Right.
So obviously, if the builder was, this gung-ho shokunin and they just wanted to build something that's going to last for a millennia, that's what they're going to do.
Right.
If the budget allows for it. Like, I mean, I hear, occasionally, I've been in these kind of high-end apartment complexes or sort of larger kind of mansion, like a proper mansion-style homes, and sometimes these will be built to ridiculously high standards. And so, like, for instance, the foundation will be like, 10 meters deep or like something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
And that's awesome because the building will last forever. But actually, when someone tries to sell a building like that, they actually have a big problem because if it's, 30 or 40 years old, most of the people who are going to buy it are going to want to tear it down and build something new.
Right.
They don't give a shit whether
it is really kind of cyclical, right?
Yeah. And so you've got this beautiful building that's really well built, but unless you absolutely love the floor plan, I mean, especially a lot of these buildings, the larger buildings, are reinforced concrete. I mean, anything that's reinforced concrete, you aren't going to be able to make any changes to that. That is literally set in stone. So, if you don't like it the way it is, you got to rip it down and build something else.
I'm curious, I don't yet have a reliable experience to make a proper statement about this, but I'm curious about, there's a lot of, Karuizawa or Hakuba or whatever, like the already established spots.
Yeah.
Right? They're valuable and desirable because they're valuable and desirable. Like, it's tautological almost, right? I'm curious about, and especially with this guy that I know, Atami, who bought a pretty nice ryokan, who's seems to be a pretty successful international art curator.
Yes.
Based out of Hong Kong. And he's done this all across APAC, buying up used or abandoned, mostly like factory warehouses, and converting them into like successful art, exhibition spaces, installation spaces. Granted, he's an Atami, so that actually goes against my point. So I'm a bit curious of this spot in Sano.
No, this is an interesting case study because, I mean, the question is, will a foreigner go somewhere other than, somewhere where, John Lennon used to hang out,
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. Looking at it on the map from kind of a, geographic or territorial point of view, it's pretty close to bus stops and stations. It's got a 7-Eleven nearby. It's only like 2 or 3 stops from, I think it's Tochigi City. Right, so it's not like, I don't know if I'd even call it well, we'll see when we get there, but if it is, Inaka, then it's right on the outskirts of,
well, so actually,
society.
Sano is interesting because basically that is the uppermost point of the Kanto plain.
Okay.
And so up until Sano, things are pretty flat, but as soon as you go through Sano on the expressway, you hit the mountains.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of cool because obviously when you hit the mountains, you have curvy roads, landslides, bad shit happens on the mountains. And so it's a double-edged sword. I mean, wherever you buy land in rural Japan, something is going to be trying to kill you. And so it's either going to be an earthquake, a tsunami, or a landslide, or
Japan
flood, or, all of the above.
Japan wants to kill you. I can imagine, come with us to exciting Sano, where you might die.
But, I mean, Sano is relatively, it's not that far away from civilization, so...
Precisely, I think that could be, could or should be attractive, not is attractive, but I think there's at least something to play around with there.
Well, it's really funny, if you talk to people from Tokyo, people who have cars, Sano is best known for 2 things. It's got a really big outlet mall, actually run by Simon, the American company.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the premium outlets.
How about that?
And it's also got the really large rest stop on the expressway. They sell. Sano's apparently famous for ramen, so you go to this rest stop, they have like 50 different types of ramen you can buy.
I can actually imagine that being an attraction.
Well, I mean, it's kind of neat. It's a cool. It's like, you know, Sano is actually before Utsunomiya, so it's in the southern part of Tochigi. So I mean, really, you're close to Saitama.
Oh, how far is it from Utsunomiya?
By car it's probably about 30 minutes.
So you sort of have, like, if you like ramen and gyoza, you're in a very good spot.
Well, also, I mean, if you're going to use it as a second home, it's very convenient to Nikko.
Yeah, right.
So, and actually, I think...
Look at this loser. Monster Energy on your car? Come on.
Oh, he definitely doesn't drive like a monster. He's going like 5 miles an hour.
His license plate is almost cool. 666.
One too many sixes. Maybe that's like the exponential mark of the beast.
Yeah. I feel like I see that number quite frequently. And of course, you know, there's other elements to license plates, but 6666 seems to be...
You know what I think it is? It's Roku 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 Roku.
Yeah.
So it's someone who likes rock and roll.
Which again is kind of close to the Mark of the Beast.
Yeah,
related.
You know, Lucifer, rock and roll.
And he's got the Monster Energy tag or sticker. What's the word I'm looking for? Decal. There we go.
Defacement.
Defacement. I mean, seriously, what is this? Like 1998? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that in the trunk of that...
You know what? No, fuck it. You should get one of those on this car.
That's not my brand, man.
Yeah, and get like some ICP decals as well.
Yeah, I think this car needs more juggalo symbols. Yeah. What's that on the side?
I think that's his, like...
That is a fancy... That's you know, that is a... that's a gas cap.
Yeah, it's a performance gas cap.
Gas cap for his midnight blue Toyota Prius with the monster sticker on the back.
What a guy. I bet he drifts.
I bet he smells. That car just like, it communicates unpleasant body odor.
It's general miasmal.
It's kind of sticky.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to ask why.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. You don't want to know. Unless he's getting paid for that, but why?
No, he's not.
I'm
getting
really
paid for
kind of
that.
overthinking why you would have a Monster Energy sticker on your car in 2020.
He just really likes Monster Energy products. I mean, you know.
Does anybody like anything that much these days? Very foreboding. This is it, for sure. Kaze no ie, Kaze no uchi. あ、違う。 security system.
Well, so the cool thing about this is that actually this was like the model house for this company, Manya, who also does this as like a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I think maybe they've recycled some of the elements. Like, I mean, that look at that roof
Right.
corner piece, right? And I think maybe they've gotten like antique wood or something for the frame, and they did some combination of like stressed wood or something. Because like, look at that. I mean, that's not 20 years old.
No,
it's like 100 years old.
It's like a lot of years old. Let's go check out
Oh,
the.
shit, my lights are on.
Let's see. This looks like a walkway. Ooh. We got jugs. What's up here? Oh, so many cobwebs, spider webs.
Oh, I think it's like a hiking trail or something.
Oh, and oh, nice. There's like a picnic patio spot up there.
It's convenient countryside, but
I like that phrase, convenient countryside.
yeah, convenient countryside, because I mean you've got civilization and gas stations and home centers and
Well, that's the thing I'm excited to do next is like casing the general area and just making a map of, oh, okay, the 7-Eleven is there and the school is over here, and I mean, especially driving around in Inaka, even if there's shit around you, it just looks like Inaka. So like, you kind of can't, sort of difficult to sort of visually parse things out. But I think a map is just like markers saying, oh, here's the stuff. It's quite nice.
oh, so actually I go this way. It's unexpected.
A twist. That's Inaka.
Yeah, and so like I said, you know, like you're literally on the edge of civilization, like between kind of exurbs and like stuff.
Ooh, and you got the nice misty mountains in like not sections, but in layers.
Yeah, because this is like the tippity top of the Kanto Plain, like.
Oh, and that's probably
where it ends.
Where it ends, yeah.
That's a cool fucking house.
We decided to build a restaurant in the most inconvenient location possible.
I love it.
Yeah, this changed over to like proper Inaka real quick. Fortunately, it still has vending machines.
Always has vending machines.
Oh, somebody's burning something. Is it trash?
Effigy.
Oh, is this it?
Yep. Of course.
All right. This is nice.
I mean, like, whenever I go to Inaka, I gotta eat somewhere that's like Inaka-y, right? It's like,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to think of like how I would lay out that house if I lived there. Like, you got that.
Well, I mean, of the things you could use it for, it could be a house. You got the stage thing. I mean, I guess you could run it. But what would be sort of? What do you think would be like the ideal use of it?
It would be. I mean, this is the sort of house because I mean, you've got. It's like a besto where you can entertain people.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it would be perfect for that because it's big enough to where you could have like. I mean, fuck, you've got that big tatami room, and you could probably, like, easily, like, have people come over, people stay, and you've got multiple rooms.
You got the parking too.
Yeah.
Nice kitchen. Was it 3 or 4 burners? For a Japanese kitchen, it was quite large. For a kitchen that.
Well, I mean, if someone with any kind of money, like, bought that house, the first thing they would do is rip out that kitchen area and make something, like, real fancy there. Because, like, basically the deal with that place is it's beautiful, but, like, the actual living fixtures, like the bathroom, the toilet, yeah, that was all very kind of last second.
Yeah.
And he even said that.
Right.
And so, like, basically the broad brushes, you know, the structure, the roof, it's got good bones, but the little details around the creature comforts either do not exist or they're to the lower Japanese standards. So,
Well, like there was a hidden bathroom that I didn't find until the end. So I think
that was kind of like a customer bathroom.
And there wasn't one upstairs, so there were 2.
Yeah, there are 2 toilets.
Right.
There's one at the Doma level, and then there was one next to the kitchen. There's
the
one
Doma
next to the
one,
bath.
I didn't find it till the end.
Yeah.
That was probably the customer.
Yeah, exactly.
There was one bath. I mean, like, what do you, for kind of bare minimum creature comforts, like redoing the kitchen, redoing the bath, or the bathroom, what else would you want?
I mean, honestly, with that kitchen, I would get rid of that entire central area and throw everything in the bag. Because right now there's a bunch of dead space because...
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I would rejigger that whole thing. So I'm thinking, like, probably you're going to spend somewhere between... I would want to spend like maybe 20 or 30 grand just like spiffing up the exterior and, you know, painting everything, maybe doing some, you know, just reparative works. And then you're probably going to want to spend like 5 or 10 grand on the garden, you know, kind of unfuck that or do it yourself.
Yeah, either way.
And then for the kitchen area, to make that look beautiful, we're looking at like 4 or 5 million yen. And then for the bathroom and the toilet area, I mean, if you wanted to redo all of it, probably like 7 to 10, including the kitchen, depending on, you know, how crazy you go. So like you're looking at
probably like 65 mil.
Well, because the house is 42, right? And there might be a little bit of leeway there, but I wouldn't imagine too much because it's pretty ridiculously cheap.
Yeah. By adding at least 10 and giving some wiggle room.
Yeah, I mean, I would spend 5 if you just want to make it, you know, usable. I would spend 10 if you want to make it nice, and probably like between 15 to 20 you can make it into like something that rich people would like.
So maxing out probably around 65.
Yeah, something like that. And I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind house. You're not going to find it, you know, anywhere else, anytime. So, I mean, to someone who likes it, it's irreplaceable.
I think we're about to be pleasantly surprised we didn't get silver.
これうなぎの干物煮たやつとこれ
Did you want soba too?
Not yet.
Ah.
今お刺身とかも うなぎの真ん中の骨背骨を唐揚げにしたのと肝レバーの手骨
Yeah, I looked at this place and I'm like, I bet their soba's good, but I bet their sashimi is better. Because, like, they actually say where the sashimi is from. That's how you know that, because, like, sashimi, the only thing you can really cut corners on is where you get it from. So, I mean, if you get it from, like, India or Alaska or whatever, obviously it's cheaper.
I have not ever had eel.
Actually, if you ever had unagi, yours comes in the soup.
Oh, really?
Wow. It's like, maybe that's miso?
Yeah, I think so. I like how we fried the eels backward. It's kind of brutal.
He wasn't going to need it.
He's dead. Kill him. Put his liver on a plate. Honestly, I don't give a shit. I just want to build a fucking hut in the woods. Have a fucking fire pit. Build a treehouse out of bamboo.
That sounds like fun.
And have a goat.
Yeah.
And so we have it.
Where'd they find the goat?
Apparently there's actually a program nationwide that you can just get free goats. There's a lot of goats to get. If you want a goat, it's pretty easy.
Fucking goats!
Yeah, I think it's from somewhere in Yamagata or Yamanashi.
It's like U-Haul.
Yeah,
All over the country.
Want one? Here you go.
K-Truck sold separately. How do they deliver the goat to you?
I think you might have to go pick it up.
Ah,
But it's some sort of like free animal program.
that's crazy.
That you can get a bunch of. Yeah, so from it they're getting a female, I guess, kind of soon. Because all they have is this 2-year-old dude. Like the other week I asked, like, oh, wait a minute, you've got a goat, but it's a dude. So you can't milk it. Like, why? They're like, oh no, he doesn't really do anything. He's just like, he's there, being a goat.
Do you have to feed him, or he's just like...
Yeah, dude loves minka. Does not like apples. Mikan, weeds.
Just goats eat like everything, right?
No, not apples. Motherfucker like really does not like apples.
It's a stuck up goat.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's uppity.
Just always goes in the wrong direction. I don't know how he does it. So like the best way to actually get him to go somewhere is you just have to grab him by the two front hooves and lift him up and then walk him backwards. Otherwise he'll just go with the other.
That's funny.
Alright, here we go. Oh.
こちらのボストンのジャンボマグロってこれでっかいツナがやってて、こっちが日本海の日本のマグロ、これが大間まで行くと大間のマグロで、ヒラマサとアオリイカとタイの昆布締め、醤油つけてこれもしドネル事務所の方が行きで、寿司ありがとう。
Holy shit.
How's it like? These are thick cuts.
Yeah.
Oh no. Wow. That's good shit. That is good.
Oh, this is a good area though. Like,
Yeah.
you see, like, so obviously you've got, we're here, right? And so this is like where the Kanto Plain ends, but then it goes up into Utsunomiya. So what's interesting is, like, obviously this is the edge of the Kanto Plain, so we're on the edge of it. We're actually not at the top of it because it extends up to Utsunomiya. And then basically we're at the foothills of the mountain where you've got Chuzenshiko and Nikko.
Ah, right.
Which is kind of cool because that's something that any gaijin knows.
Right.
Been to Japan before, you know, you've got
Yeah, it seems like it's a good base point of entry. Oh my god, is that?
No, that's actually a different mall, but
That's a big one.
yeah, this is a big Eon.
Ah, here we go. Sano Premium Outlets.
Oh yes, look at that shit.
I don't know, I feel like premium outlet malls totally undermine the luxury element of luxury.
Oh, totally. I mean, that's kind of the idea, isn't it?
No, the idea is to sell. Hell yeah. Shopping at outlet malls in the rain. This is what it's about.
This is what we came to do.
Oh, there it is.
We found it. Look for the line.
I'm kind of surprised that it's this. I mean, I wouldn't call it crowded, but people are definitely out, despite the shitty weather.
Jesus, look for the line for fucking Prada.
Wacky. Yo, did you hear about the recently revealed results to Michael Jackson's autopsy?
Dude, tell me, I'm fucking...
It's like fucked up.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they...
Like...